Welcome, mi gente. I am Alan Baez here with Latin Alt Radio 88.5, the Soul Cow Sound. And my guest today is a singer, producer, multidisciplined artist who's been redefining the meanings of rock, indie psych, dance, a myriad of other genres. His name is synonymous with the greatest musician out of Brooklyn and Caracas. He's a founding member of Los Amigos Invisibles, as well as Los Crema Pariso and Orquesta Discothek. He also spins a mean remix as DJ Afro. He's a Grammy Award-winning producer who's been behind the works of some of the best tracks within the upcoming Latin music space, including the works from Rawayana and Maya. It's the one and only Cheo.
What a cool intro, man. Thank you so much.
No, thank you.
I don't think nobody has an intro to me like that. That's great. Thank you. I appreciate it.
No, thank you. I wasn't too familiar with your works prior to getting ready for this interview, and I'm gonna touch on it later. But you've written a track from one of my favorite artists, Maya. So being able to starting this interview and just kind of explore more of your works has been super eye-opening. Just seeing your influence like everywhere.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah. So first things first, I want to ask you, how are you doing today on this lovely Thursday?
I'm doing great, man. It's springtime here in New York, so it's a very optimistic time of year, and people seems to be more eager to do stuff, to create, to be happy. It's just happier. There's more sunlight, so yeah, I'm doing great.
Beautiful, beautiful. How was it during the earthquake you guys had a few weeks ago?
I was working. I was home, and usually there's never earthquakes here, so it was so weird because it felt like the Jurassic Park, the little cup of water that I had nearby started moving. I was like, I think everybody thought this is a lot of trucks here and a lot of construction. So most of the people like me thought there was like a truck passing by or something. I was like, oh, this is not a truck. This is not something. And I was like, oh, maybe I should walk to the door and see what's going on. And then everybody freaked out. Like, whoa, that was an earthquake. First time in whatever 20 plus years I've been here that I feel one.
I was gonna say.
I was like, oh, this is Mexico. This is like how it feels in Mexico once a week or something.
Oh yeah. Now this is not your. I know this is virtual, so technically not there right now. But this is not your first time being at the Latin Alt Music Conference. How does it feel to be back again?
It feels great, man. Like I've been in pretty much, I want to say 20 of them, but like probably I missed a couple. But I love it because it's not only. I was telling somebody yesterday, it's not only a place to retouch a lot of contacts of people that you are in the same page with, like Latino. It's a great platform. It's a great space to meet people and to re-meet people again, and also it's a great place to take the pulse of what's going on in the music business. You know, I don't think there's many places where you can talk about music, about the struggles, about what's going on, about what's trending. You know, like one year everybody's talking about advertising, another year everybody's talking about movie licensing or TV shows on Netflix, and one year like this year everybody's talking about TikTok. So it's a great way of like knowing what's going on in the music business, and for especially for people that is not is more into the arts than in the business. And I think everybody, like musicians and artists, have a really weird relationship with money and with in the career sustainable. So it's a great place to have an intermediate between art and being, you know, sustainable as a musician, as an artist, which is very important if you want to do this forever.
Yeah, and you've been in this forever, I would say.
Yeah, and it's a strange relationship because, you know, we grew up with the idea that, you know, selling out was bad, like making money was bad, and, you know, art's more important. And, you know, we're in a time of the history where, you know, if we have to be artists, and we also have to be managers and bookings and all that. And so L.A.M.C is a great place to get a glimpse of everything that's going on in every aspect of the music business.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that with me. Do you remember what was the first year you were invited to come out?
Yeah, I think the first one, I think it was in LA, and we've been in a few in Los Angeles, and they're great. We played in the Central Park for one. We played Los Amigos played in the Prospect Park for one of the editions. Then we played in L.A. in this carousel park. I don't remember in Malibu. It's been a trip. Like I've been seeing the evolution, and of course, every time I see everybody, it's a place to hug all friends. You know.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you for sharing that with me. Now, you've been performing for a very long time. You've been producing, remixing, working with a lot of younger acts, but you're still pushing genre defining music. So, just touching back, we're going to touch on this later. Last year, you released a new album, and you're releasing new singles right now. You're doing new features right now, and you're also with your work as a DJ. You're constantly surrounded by other music. So I want to ask you, what's been keeping you grounded?
I mean, I think I've been long enough in this business. I've been long enough in this career to have touched like the top in many ways and been in the lowest bottom as well. So you start understanding at this age that everything comes and goes, and the most important, most of the times, the most important things is the process, the making things. The process of like I'm gonna make a song with a friend of mine. I'm gonna make a song with Maya, and if I make a song with Maya, for example, like more than the success of the song and more of the mileage the song has getting. It's a memory of us being together in the studio and sharing, the conversations we have, the thoughts we have, and the moments we spend together making the music and making what is supposed to be the magic of it. So I started learning how to enjoy that more, the process, more than the actual success of the song. So I guess that's what keeps me waking up every morning saying like, oh, what am I gonna do? I'm looking forward to projects, or we're looking forward to working with artists, and the collaborations are great because every time you collaborate with an artist, you learn a lot,
Yeah.
and it's like a likewise, it's like a reciprocal experience. Like you learn, they learn, and then you take their experience to another patio, and it's always great. It's always like adding up stuff, and I enjoy learning a lot. I enjoy like doing new stuff and discovering new things.
Awesome. I think it's very beautiful because right now, you mentioned earlier that we're in a time where you can't just be a musician, you have to be your own manager. You have to be able to
Totally.
make those opportunities for yourself. So it's really fascinating to hear you talk
Yeah,
about.
and I think that's one of the things that I learned, and I was forced to learn that sometimes you have to create your opportunities. You create your work. You cannot be sitting in waiting for stuff to happen, because it doesn't happen. Nobody's gonna come knocking your door to say, "Oh, you're marvelous, come here." It's like you gotta like you get out there and do stuff, and you gotta like change one life at a time, or make a song that make something. You never know where your songs are gonna land, so you gotta make a lot,
Mhm.
I think.
I think it's really interesting. I was looking through your discography on your website and I found your little section of tunes that you've made for like commercials, like for Target or like Wells Fargo. So I want to know
uh,
from you, when was that period in your career when you realized, okay, I can't just make music, commercial music. I have to start making music that's outside the conventional music space.
well, I grew up in a I was gonna say I grew up in a time where doing that was like seen as a bad thing. Like making music for advertising was a bad thing, and it was something that you feel ashamed of, like, oh, you're selling out and stuff. And then when I moved to New York, I started meeting people, and agents and agencies that were like, a lot of people does that on the side because it's like a great income, and most of the people that does advertising have great studios and have great gear, and I started like seeing that more than an art form. More, I was thinking more of a as an instrument, and a great exercise, because sometimes you get a call to do an advertising spot, and you gotta get like a hard rock song for them, and doing the hard rock is something that I will never do in my career. But then after doing it, and you learn how to do it, and it's like, oh, that was fun. I could do it another one. But yeah, advertising became like a thing that I was called to do on the side, and I was like, yeah, this it really helps to be making money on the side to do advertising. Now it's like more competitive and stuff. Like I would say that I never pursue a career on advertising, so that I could probably have done better if I pursue that.
Mhm.
But it was just not my thing. But I got called to do a few, and of course I said yes because it was a fun thing to do, and the money was great. And I love cinema and I love video, so I love doing music to image to motion pictures. So I love that, and I've been working more in movies and short films because I love the idea of like creating a face, creating something for a visual thing.
That's very exciting. Do you have a favorite like soundtrack that you've made for a movie?
That I made? No, I made one for a movie called Hora Cero that I love. I music supervised for that one. I picked the songs. I didn't make them. And I did that a short film called The Runaways. It's about slavery, and that was a great experience because it was like a very minimal piano, and it allows you to do that because sometimes it's like, okay, there's no budget for an orchestra, I'll do it everything electronically. So you gotta like manage the stuff like that and to make it happen. I'm working now in another film that doesn't have a name yet, but it's the same thing. It's like, okay, there's no budget, I'll do it with just my guitar because that's what we have.
It's
And
exciting.
it's a very interesting way of like figuring things out and trying to help, especially it's different because like when you make music for the crowd and for the people, you make music thinking that a lot of people's gonna like it or you're gonna reach out. But like when you're making music for a movie, you're making music for the director pretty much. It's just one person that has to like it, and
Yeah.
it has to work with the scene. So it's a different experience, which I love too.
Hmm. Sounds super interesting. I was doing a lot of the research behind your music, and there's just so much you have out. I could
That's a lot. It's been a few years.
yeah. A fun question for you. What's a movie that you saw you had no participation in? You were not involved at all, but after you saw it, you were like, "Man, I wish I could have done the soundtrack."
I think one of the movie. I mean, I've seen movies since I was a kid. I still see like one movie every day. But I think one of the soundtracks that blew me off was the movie Out of Sight from Steven Soderbergh.
Hmm.
It's a movie with George Clooney and Jennifer Lopez, and I felt that the soundtrack was like incredible. Like I love that soundtrack. And
Mm.
but it's been many, since I saw Grease and I saw like Can't Stop the Music by Village People. It's been always like a great thing to see movies and to have the record and to play the record and remember like which scene was a song in, and Back to the Future was a great soundtrack too.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a few of those. But like I remember like seeing outside saying like, okay, I want to do this. I want to like or because it's a very funky soundtrack, and I was like, oh, I never thought that funk music or soul music could be that well, fit that well in a persecution scene or a chasing scene or something.
Yeah. Man, I didn't realize how much of a film head you were. You said you watch a new movie every day.
Pretty much, yeah, like at least 4 or 5 movies every week, yeah.
Man, I
And now that my kids hooked in movies too, it's like a better excuse to just do stuff together.
that's beautiful. I bet that's been my goal of the year is just to watch more film. I made the letterbox. I've been trying to keep more.
I'm in Letterboxd. You should.
We gotta add each
We,
other after this. We gotta add each
yeah,
other after
I'm not
this.
that good at it. My kid's way better than me, but yes, I'm in Letterboxd. We can friend each other and
That's
recommend
awesome.
stuff.
My thing is just like the occasional like 2 star, 3 star, and then for Nacho Libre I have like the longest review about it. Ooh,
There you go.
that's funny. But I want to talk to you about your album from last year. Let's talk Música para Verse Bien. So we're
All right.
creeping up on the 1 year anniversary of that record. I think it came out in May of last year.
In June, yeah, unbelievable. Yeah, right. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you're right.
So how has that album sat with you in the time and since the year in the almost a year it's dropped, and what's changed since its release?
Well, that album changed a bit because I was after I left Los Amigos, I produced a lot of bands and I produced a lot of records that did really well and amazing. And my style of production was pretty much doing sessions. I have a studio, doing a session at studio, bringing musicians one by one, or working with bands, and everything was like very kosher in a way, very well recorded. And with that record, I wanted to relive the experience of having a live band. So the way I did that record was like I rehearsed a band for a long time, which they were gonna kill me because I was rehearsing and rehearsing, and they were like, "Let's record, let's record." I'm not ready, I'm not ready. And we rehearsed a lot, and literally we went in the studio for 4 days and recorded the whole album.
Wow.
So it was like a beautiful experience of like not only I feel that it feels different when you record live, but also like the 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 experience of being with other musicians for a long time in the studio create something, and it's just more fun to hang out with musicians and create. Like how somebody has an idea and throws it away, and it's like, oh great, this is great, let's play it again, or let's try something else. I rest like the creative process is totally more exciting in a way. So that changed me in a way that now, since that album, I've been everything I do it like with a live band because it's just more fun to be in the studio with a lot of people, but just by myself, or with a bass player that comes in and play, then a piano player comes in and play. It's like, no, let's just rehearse a song, let's record it together, and that's been a change that I never thought I would live again because I was like done with playing with bands and stuff, and it's like, no, I love playing with bands.
Yeah. No, it's beautiful. What was that creative process like? I know you mentioned focusing more on just the rehearsing and rehearsing before the actual recording process started. But what was just in terms of actually writing the album itself? What was the creative process like?
Well, it was interesting because yeah, some of the songs like I came with the idea very clear, like this is the chorus, this is the lyrics, this is what I want to do, blah blah blah. And some of the songs I opened them up with my musicians, like okay, I have this idea. It's like there's a lot of room for doing stuff, and it was great because like for them, my band, most of them are like great players, but they don't see themselves as composers or as songwriters, and I totally brought that into them. Like, no, if you put a lyric here or you put a part there, you're actually writing the song, and it was great to make them collaborate in a way that it was not only playing, but it's like was of more like an intellectual kind of collaboration, and also to get the band together and play. It has a feeling, it has like a vibe, and I love that, just feeling that, oh, every time we play a song we feel excited, every time we play a song we feel tired, or every time we play a song we feel like more chill, and those feelings were like important at the time to record, and now they play a big part in the time every time I do something. It's like, how do we feel about this song? Like, can we play faster or can we play slower?
Yeah.
Because I don't it doesn't feel right or something like that. I'm paying attention to those kind of things that are uh not only the chords or the lyrics or the hooks, like paying attention to what everybody's feeling about playing a song. I think is that makes that moment of people listening to a song and turning it up,
Yeah.
which is when the magic happens.
No, that's for sure. That's definitely what happened with me. It was a fun album
Thank you.
to rediscover. Now, the track that introduced me to your music was your work on Maybe Baby with Maya. And I
Hmm.
didn't know that you produced the original track for her. I
It was
completely.
very interesting. Maria is a super talented girl. Like she is unbelievable. She's the daughter of Fernando Sorio, which is like a big composer, originally from Venezuela, and has made great hits. So whenever I started, like I was a fan from her work from Two and all that, and we started talking each other. And whenever she comes to New York, we try to do stuff together. But like what I'm saying is that when I say about his parent, is that when you work with her, you're working with a girl that's been in the studio since she has a memory. She's been in the studio since she's like 3 or 4. So the way she works her way into songs or creates melody, it's like a kid playing. It's incredible. It's like something that is engraved in her. I never seen that. Like I always quote it because it's like this girl's like we were like making like, okay, I don't know how to put this melody in here. She's like da, 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 and boom, that's it. It's like, oh come on, this is like something she's been doing it for a while. Literally since she was like born.
It's incredible. Yeah, I've been a big fan of her also since Stu. And
Yeah, she's amazing. I forget it. Like it's very special. Like whenever she like gets in the studio or some melody, it's like, okay, this is so special because it's literally somebody that was literally born with it.
yeah, what decided, or what made you decide to put your a rendition or your own version? I'm gonna say of Maybe Baby
Oh,
on the
funny
album.
story. great story. The story was that we did a demo. We wrote the song together. She came one night and we wrote the song and we had a great time. And we wrote the demo of the song, and and then we're like, okay, let's do it together. She tried to do it with the producer. She was working with it with her. I made like I had this idea of like I think this song should could be like a James Taylor, Carole King kind of bossa nova, and they like she did her version. I did this version. Like, well, maybe we should sing it and put it out. And she was like so in love with the demo that she put it out with them. So what you hear, her version is pretty much like with what we recorded minutes after we finished writing it. And then when she finished writing it, and it did great, and it's been amazing, an amazing journey with that version. I was like, I think I want to put my version out, and she was like, yeah, of course, do it. And so the demo I did for her, I re-recorded it with my band.
Okay.
So I was like, and I was like, isn't that will it be weird? And she was like, no, like I mean, I remember like back in the days, you know, Jovin will make a song and somebody will record it, and he recorded himself. Like, yeah, I mean, it's only a win.
Yeah.
It's a win-win. You record it, I recorded it, and songs like can walk more.
Was there any issues with like the publishing?
No, not at all.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, I hope to hear more from a future collaboration again, as well as more.
We made a few songs together. They're there, and they'll see the light of day whenever she wants. But yes, we have more songs.
Just waiting on that album. I'm just waiting on that album.
Oh, no,
it'll come. You've produced countless records for up-and-coming Latina indie artists. You've started a multitude of groups and just have tons of side projects. And you wrote a few jingles here and there and just different soundtracks. After this latest single, I want to ask you, what comes next?
Oh, everything. I have many things. I have more things to do than time, actually. Yeah. I'm working on a new album for me ahead with a third album. I would say I'm re-recording parallel to that and re-recording Los Amigos songs for EPs. We're gonna do the refresco, which is like refreshing the tracks. We're gonna do refresco Latin coming up. Now we're gonna do refresco funk, refresco house, refresco bossa nova, and all that. And I don't know. I think I have a studio. I have the energy. I have great musicians to work with and to have fun with. So I'm not gonna stop right now. I don't think so.
Awesome. Well, it's very exciting. We're gonna be on the lookout for the new album. Mr. Cheo, thank you so much for speaking with me today. This has actually been fantastic. I had a great time.
Appreciate the time.
Congratulations on everything you have going on your good luck on your performance for the conference. I think it's tomorrow, no?
Yeah, tomorrow.
Yeah. Yes. So we'll hope. I don't know what the end is, but still, just thank you for everything, and you take care.
Thank you very much, Alan. I appreciate it. Bye bye.